Hello Facebook, this is Chris Pickard at Body in Balance in Hertfordshire. Our website address should you wish to keep in contact, and also to find out more about the wonderful world of health, go to www.bodyinbalanceuk.com, or our old website, which that new one still forwards to, it's thepainreliefcentres.co.uk. Okay, so let me press some buttons. Here we go, button pressing is happening. So yesterday I spoke about hydration, and I spoke about the structure of water that is in our body, and it's how very different it is from the H2O that we are so familiar with. So if you missed yesterday, where's my black pen? The chemical structure of the water that is in, or most of the water in our body, is H3O2. And this is a gel-like substance. So it doesn't exist as what is now called bulk water. It exists as a gel. And this is also known as easy water, EZ water. Okay, easy water, which is short for exclusion zone, because what it does is it actually pushes particulate matter and bits and bobs and things that aren't water away from it. And it conveniently sits on the outsides of cells, and it helps protect cells from damage, but it also helps energize cells. It helps also draw the right things, the right charges, negative, positive charges inside the cell as well. It has amazing effects, and it's so needed. So yesterday I spoke about lots of things that you can do to actually help build easy water. Today I'm going to get back to the more common things about hydration, but also I'm going to talk a little bit more about what happens with easy water inside of our capillaries, and why the drinks I'm going to talk about actually really aid easy water, and why combined easy water and these drinks have such a huge benefit on your health, things like blood pressure and cardiovascular disease. So, hello Yvonne. I am going to draw some cells in a capillary. What colour shall I go for? Oh, I'll start with black. So this is a cross-section of a capillary. Okay, I don't know exactly how many cells there are in a capillary. Maybe I'll look it up. But this is a capillary, and then down the middle of your capillary you have a red blood cell, which basically looks kind of, it's not a donut, it's kind of a donutish shape. It's got a filled in middly bit. And the red blood cell comes down the middle here. Now, the common thinking is that our heart pumps, it produces pressure, and it pushes things through the body, pushes blood through the body. But it's not as simple as that at all. In fact, what actually happens down at the capillaries and in our fluids massively affects how much pressure the heart has to use. And in fact, it's now thought that what's happening down in here with the electrical charges on single cells of single red blood cells is actually sucking or pushing blood through. And the heart is just a helper of this system. And so what you can do here will massively aid your heart. So, for those of you in my 365, already went through this a little bit, I think. So what you have here is a capillary, and on the inside of the capillary, all of this should be easy water. Okay? Hello, Amanda. Okay, so all of this is easy water. So the water basically helps the red blood. I mean, it's actually quite a it's a lubricant as well. With this gel, so it will help ease it. But the actual charges that are set up, there are positive charges set up because the easy water is pushing bulk water and other things out, and this is negatively charged, and this apparently helps suck or push things along. Not quite sure why, but it does. Now, in the easy water as well, you have another structure okay, which I'm going to do these little blobs here. And this is cholesterol sulphate. Now, most people think of, when they hear the word cholesterol, they think bad. If you've been listening to my broadcast, you'll know that each one of these lovely cells is made up of lots of cholesterol. You need it. But cholesterol sulphate, they're now finding, is a secondary method for the body to deliver oxygen to the cells. A secondary method to deliver oxygen to the cells. And so in order to make cholesterol sulphate, you need lots of sulfates, which you get from lots of vegetable matter, plant matter, onions, for instance, garlic. There are lots of other things, glucosamine sulfate. But you also need easy water. You also need cholesterol. So you need cholesterol and you need sulfate. But easy water is the thing apparently within which a lot of this stuff is happening. But there's something else that this all needs for this to all work properly. And that's something called nitric oxide, or to be really, really precise, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to write in black then. Or to be really precise, you actually need the enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase, eNOS. Okay, eNOS is fantastic. It really helps. It gets in here and it helps dilate the arteries. It gives everything more room. It's not just the capillaries, the arteries as well. It's very, very important. Okay, eNOS has other uses in the body as well. But then there's something called iNOS. Okay, and iNOS is a baddie. It's called inducible nitric oxide synthase, and this is a bad form of nitric oxide. It's really related to inflammation, so it can inflame your capillaries and arteries. So it's bad for the heart, it's bad for the brain, it's bad wherever it is, iNOS. Okay, now your body creates some of it for a reason, otherwise it wouldn't be there. But often in chronic disease situations and in most people eating a rubbish diet, iNOS is going up, eNOS is going down. So you end up with lots of problems. So, does water have an effect on eNOS and iNOS? I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked directly at it. But there are two drinks that nearly all of you are drinking, nearly all of my patients are drinking, and that's tea and coffee. And both tea and coffee, and it's green tea or black tea, okay, they inhibit and have a bad effect on iNOS, and some say that they actually had boost this as well. Some say that they're boosting that because they're decreasing this. But whatever the sum total is, they have a really good effect on the nitric oxide in here, which is why people who drink 3-4 cups of tea a day or 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day or green tea tend to have better cardiovascular health, because it's helping this. But of course, there is a difference between crap tea and crap coffee and really good tea and really good coffee. And that, basically really good tea and coffee and green teas have more antioxidants than all the rubbishy stuff. Now, sometimes, of course, you're going to be able to buy cheap, even just ordinary black tea is going to have some good stuff in it. But the closer you get to its actual leaf state, it's more likely to be fresher, have more antioxidants in it. Same with green tea, the closer you get to its actual tea leaf state, probably the better it is. The more organic it is, the less stuff that's going to be on there that's going to cause problems with this whole mechanism. Same with coffee. The more organic, the better it is. And the number one thing with coffee is actually how fresh it is, not how organic it is. I think it's actually more important to get fresh coffee. And by fresh coffee, I mean freshly roasted. So you can be spending, bulletproof coffee, for instance. Bulletproof coffee, in my mind, the whole thing, it's great. It's a great idea. It's a great concept. It's good. But I think it's a bit of a rip-off, okay? Because you can spend your money on far, far, far better things. Okay, and you can go and support some local companies as well. Because the thing with bulletproof coffee is it's come to you, it's already roasted. As far as I know, I haven't really looked too deeply into it recently. They may be doing a fresh version that you then roast yourself. But basically, when you roast coffee, and that's what most people have already got roasted coffee when they're grinding the beans, etc., etc. most of the antioxidants have already gone within 7 days. Now, of course, all the studies on showing that tea and coffee have been done, they haven't actually taken good quality stuff. They've just taken any old rubbish. Okay, so even the rubbishy stuff has good effects, but why not go one step further and go for quality tea and coffee? So find a local roasting house, and if you really want the healthiest coffee, and try and buy coffee that's only just been roasted in the past day or two, certainly within 7 days, and drink it as quickly as you can, because the longer you leave it, the more all the goodness, or most of the goodness, is gone. But of course, you regular viewers know that there's something else that I use in my tea and my coffee. And there it is. There it is. Woo! Okay, and that, of course, is Ganoderma, which most of the property of Ganoderma, Chinese medicinal mushroom. It's best steeped in hot water. You can make teas from it directly. Stuff we use is completely tasteless, which is why you already have teas and coffees with it in. But I actually also, whatever hot drink I have, I break a capsule of Ganoderma into it. Why do I do that? Because Ganoderma helps clean toxins from the body. It helps make sure that it has a very alkalizing, stabilizing effect on your body's pH. So it helps keep it where it needs to be. And of course, Ganoderma has a huge effect on this compared to any ordinary tea or coffee, even if it's green tea. I mean, Ganoderma literally wipes this stuff out. And so it has a very beneficial effect over here. It does have an effect on eNOS directly as well, but Ganoderma wipes out this bad boy. And so when you're drinking good quality teas and coffees, mix it with Ganoderma, you're eating your water, lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. And I also tend to, every time I have a tea or a coffee, I tend to have a cup of water while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil or the percolator to percolate or any of these things. I tend to use it as an extra time to get a bit of extra water in my body. And then if I don't fancy the tea or coffee, I won't then have it. But that's my normal habit, is when I want a tea or a coffee, I drink water first. And then if I do want something more, I'll have that. So if you are a Ganoderma hunter, one word of warning. Yeah, 2, 3. Don't buy on Amazon. 5 or eBay. 6, 7 words of warning. Don't buy this stuff on. If you're going to get the things that I use, the exact brand, because it's all being sold illegally there. Same with pretty much any supplement. It's not so much that it's being sold illegally on Amazon, but on Amazon and eBay, there is a lot of counterfeit. I mean, I bought a piece of exercise equipment from Amazon because it was 50 quid cheaper than going to the main site. A friend of mine, he got it from the main site because he didn't bother to look on Amazon. And we compared the two, and there was a stark difference. His was much more robustly made, came in different packaging, all sorts of things. But the particular brand that we use in the clinic for Ganoderma, it's illegal. The company has made it illegal for anyone to sell it there. So if you see it on Amazon or eBay, don't buy it. It might be counterfeit and it might actually do you more harm. We have had a case of that, but you're just supporting the black market. Okay, all right. So if you do want Ganoderma stuff, then just follow the links to my website or give me a call and we'll get in contact and we'll tell you what we use and how much of it I use. Well, I'll do that another day. Okay, be well, live long and prosper. Please spread the message about good quality tea and coffee and tell everyone about easy water, hydration and capillaries and the fact that it will decrease the strain on the heart and it's absolutely essential for cardiovascular disease. Hydration. Be well.